Does this make you want to do like cave diving? And then go what is it? Scuba in the caves? Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah, I think I'll pass on that.
I'd do it.
I bet you would. I'll be outside the entrance having lunch. I'm going to test you in about 5 minutes and ask you how long do you think we've gone?
Okay.
Have you been counting your steps?
Nope.
Look at that. I love the way they have it lit, you know?
Yeah.
The shadows and the light.
It was great because you could see all the different
It is.
textures and shapes and colors. There it is, a bit of a bunk. Does that look like a dragon?
Oh, it does. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, that's a big one. And there's ours. Okay. So you guys are just gonna chill right here. So welcome everyone on it. So this room is named Model Room. Named that because the fact that when CCC was putting in all those lovely stairs, they made a model of this room and put it up in the visitor center. So Model Room. Sometimes cave names can be very creative, sometimes they are not. This is an example of the not. People have known about Wind Cave for as long as strange holes in the ground have fascinated humans. That is to say, literally forever, people have known about this place. The Lakota certainly knew about it, and even from there, people knew about it before it started being explored. The cowboys were riding along in a canyon. They heard this whistling noise coming from the distance. So what they did is they rode on up and they actually pulled these branches back and their hats flew right off their heads once they did that. That was the source of the wind. They've done it. They found Wind Cave. They named it after that. So, exploration though really didn't begin until about the 1890s. That's whenever the South Dakota Mining Company filed a claim on this land here. With that claim, they wanted to see if there was going to be any gold here inside of Wind Cave. Spoiler alert, all this stuff is made up of crushed up seashells. Not going to contain any gold. But, nevertheless, they sent the McDonald family out here to investigate that claim. McDonald's had a 16-year-old son named Alvin. Alvin loved to explore the cave. This was one of his favorite places on Earth. And Alvin was an amazing cave explorer. He would explore all of Wind Cave here with just a candle and some string. So what you would do is you would take a candle, light it on up, and have some string falling all the way behind you. So eventually whenever that candle went out, you could use that string and go all the way back up to the surface with the complete darkness. This would have been about as much light as you would have gotten to. Not a whole ton. Not a ton at all. Nevertheless, Alvin still came down here and investigated and explored about 10 miles worth of passageway here inside of the cave. So, but Alvin was not nearly as good of a tour guide as he was a cave explorer. Alvin had a tendency of bringing people into rooms like this, you know, and then he would kind of sit them down and be like, okay, you guys are going to take a break right here, but I see a cool passageway right on over that way. So I'm going to go explore that. I will be right back. One time he did this to his group, and then they started to wait. Then they waited some more. Meanwhile, Alvin had gotten bored, so he just went on back up to the surface. Where he forgot about those people until his head hit the pillow that night.
Oh,
And Joe
no.
has spent about 14 hours here inside the cave in complete and total
They must have been
darkness.
pissed off.
Until Alvin came down here and found everyone alive and brought them on back up to the surface, where they did not get a refund.
Aw.
It should be of no surprise here that Alvin's family was in a pretty bad financial situation. The cave tours weren't selling as much as they thought they would. So, they decided that they were going to get a business partner. Chose a guy named John Stabler. And John Stabler, he was a bit of a con man. What I mean by that is he definitely lied a bunch in order to get more money out of people here inside the cave. He actually created a humanoid figure out of plaster of Paris. And wrote to all the local newspapers that he had found this very genuine case of human petrification here inside of Wind Cave. And so he, whenever you would be passing by it on your tour routes, it would be covered in a white sheet. So you have to go, like, crawl by it. As your tour guide, like, what's that? And you're like, oh, it's a petrified man. 10 cents and you can lift the sheet and see it for yourself. He also hired a psychic to come down here and find a pin blindfolded here inside of Wind Cave. This psychic's name was Professor Alex Johnstone, and Johnstone's specialty was not finding things inside of caves. His specialty was driving horse-drawn carriages blindfolded and be able to see the sight of the guy that was just sitting next to him. Johnstone was also not actually a professor. He was lying about that too. But Johnstone came here to find that pin here inside of Wind Cave, and as a testament to him not being, you know, a person that does that very frequently, he got lost down here for 3 days. And it was only because Alvin was with the group that they were able to find the pin and then find their way back out alive. Alvin was pretty sick of everyone in that group. And so the story that Stabler later wrote to the newspaper had some amazing details that never truly happened. It was written that Johnstone and the party went down 2,000 feet deep into the cave, that they were encountering such treacherous things as 300-foot chasms and winds that would roar at you at 150 miles an hour in certain areas part of the cave. This did not happen. Candles are not driving 150 miles an hour, let alone people standing up. That's a category 4 hurricane. And also, the spot where the pin was headed is on our candlelight tour route. It's about a half a mile into the cave and only about 200 feet down. They didn't know that back then, though. So people came in droves to see exactly where, where they had found that hat pin. So from there, that actually brought more money into the cave, and more money equals more problems. The family started to argue a lot over who got what split of the profits. Before they could resolve this, though, tragedy struck. Alvin got typhoid fever. He unfortunately passed away on December 15th, 1893, at only age 20. And things were never really the same here after that. Families started to actually argue more. And then eventually they decided to sue each other over who actually owned Wind Cave here. American tradition. Now, with that, the McDonalds actually had a homesteading claim on this land here. Because neither family actually had deeds to Wind Cave, they just had their claims. So the McDonalds had a homesteading claim, which is essentially if you're farming for long enough, eventually the land will become yours. Stabler's had a mining claim, and if you're extracting minerals and resources out of the cave, eventually it'll become yours. Do you think cave tours count for either one of those? No, they definitely don't. So that's why they decided to actually go, whenever they sat down in front of the judge, judge looked at it and realized something. Neither family was doing what they were supposed to be doing. So, because of that, neither family got to walk away with Wind Cave. And so it returned to the General Land Office, run by the U.S. Department of Interior, who was wondering what was even going on down here. They heard those crazy rumors. So they decided to commission a survey of Wind Cave here in 1902. How many orange paint markers did you guys see? There were 6 of them hiding. If you didn't see them, well, I'll have you guys go ahead and just move just ever so slightly. Because
there
you're
he
one
is.
right here. That is US WCS 52. So that's 52nd marker of the United States Wind Cave Survey. These markers are in fact lead paint. Please don't lick them. Ow. That survey found about 10 miles worth of passageway, and it found the 10 miles that we'll all be walking through today. And this 10 miles happened to be really cool. There was a bunch of stuff here that they thought that they was worthy of protecting. So they also found a lot of damage to the done in Wind Cave here. Back in the old days, it was really common for you to give your tour guide a few bucks, and you could also take whatever you wanted out of the cave. Nowadays, we call this a federal felony. So they decided to protect what was left of this place. Wind Cave National Park was established January 9th, 1903, making it America's 6th national park, the first ever national park dedicated to a cave anywhere in the world. So that's pretty cool. With that, questions? Yes. Yes, calcite. So it's popcorn, like it's a thing called cave popcorn. Comes on through, but it's in more calcite. Frostwork. Yeah, there was a very brief patch of it on our way between the stairs and the post office. It's really hard for me to stop there, so I can't point it out, unfortunately.
There's no more.
No, you won't see any on this. Any other questions?
Said he died of typhoid at the World's Fair. Did he get typhoid and come back here and die?
Got
or-
typhoid coming back here.
Great. Bad water at the World's Fair and comes back here and
Yep. That's on that.
why did he go to the World's Fair to advertise this whole deal?
Yes, actually he did. It was in Chicago at the time, and that was before they had, reversed the flow of the Chicago River and made that sanitary canal. So yeah, died of typhoid fever. That's
H.H. Holmes.
the Chicago sanitary canal is the one they dye green every year, by the way. That's the one. That's it. And now everyone's like, oh yeah, that one. Any other questions? No? All right. I will need a volunteer for this next little portion. I want to be my volunteer.
What?
Yeah, you're gonna be my volunteer.
All
You're gonna be my
right.
roadblock for the day. So
Okay.
you're gonna come up to the front with me. I'll
Okay.
place you right where you need to be placed, and you're just gonna make sure everyone follows me on down a passageway until they see Lars.
Okay.
Cool. So he's gonna be right behind me, and then you guys are following right on behind them.
Excuse me.
Alright, so you're gonna go ahead and stand right here. And you're gonna make sure everyone follows me on down this
Okay.
passageway.
Gotcha.
Oh, well, come on, let's go that way.
I'm off the clock and like
Wait,
45
that way,
minutes.
No.
Is the elevator that way?
This is the shortcut out. That's good.
Let's go the other way. Interesting. Don't go that way.
No.
Here.
Yep, I'm
We're
blocking the
not
way.
supposed-
Yep,
We're not
I'm like
supposed to
the-
go that way.
I'm
Okay.
like the bouncer. You can't go out that way.
Ah,
Can't go out that door.
Look in the road.
That's your job.
You're doing a fine job.
You're doing a fine job,
Thank
thank you.
you. Oh, that is really cool.
Oh, is it to stop people from going past?
Yeah, I guess people wander down that way, and suddenly
Okay.
the tour group's like 39 instead of 40 here.
I see.
Thank you.
That's great. So I'll stay with you.
Wasn't that the World's Fair with H.H. Holmes from the book? The,
Yeah.
yeah, it
Yeah,
was
the white-
1893, right?
White
Here we
devil.
are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Devil, yeah, Devil in the White City.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is everybody. And that's Lars, so he's at the end of the road.
Yes, he is our sweet
Yeah.
devil.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
really?
where he was. I think that was the World's Fair.
The Chicago was.
Yeah.
Read another interesting book by the same guy about Berlin in 1933.
I just read that one a couple of years ago. Yeah, I think I've read all of his books. That was great. It was written from the ambassador, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
and his daughter,
Yeah.
like
Party daughter.
Yeah, party
Yeah.
daughter.
Yes, party daughter. That's good.
What did she call you? What volunteer?
What?
A what volunteer?
Block.
A block.
Blocker. I'm a good blocker.
You can always see the water.
Yeah, Luray had a lot more water in it. Yeah.
Extreme.
And it had like standing pools of water and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
This looks like popcorn.
Yeah. Got to keep the tour moving, though. Huh?
No.
We won't leave you behind.
Well, that is true. That is true. They don't need their hand. If I want to take pictures, I'm like, I don't want to be clogging up the line, you know, so. Yeah. Mm-hmm, exactly.
Well, there's our roadblock. Fantastic. Yep, you guys are coming on down over here. So, how do you think we got from that 10 miles worth of passageway to the 168 we know and love today? A lot of people crawling through a lot of very tiny spaces is the answer. If you aren't going to be caving here inside of Wind Caves, there's actually 9 different ways you can leave this room. And this right over here counts as one of them. So, yeah. Lots of different ways. Oh, you're squeezing. So, cave exploration really didn't explode till the 1950s. That's whenever 2 cave explorers named Urjan Khan found a passageway known as the Spillway. The Spillway connects the eastern, more historic part of the cave to the western half of the cave, which is where a lot of that research is being done today. About 300 feet down from our current location, there's all these lakes that are inside Wind Cave. And these lakes are home to Wind Cave's only permanent residents, bacteria. These bacteria are super, super special. Scientists aren't even sure how they're even alive. All we know is that they eat manganese that leaches from the rock around them over time. And so, because of that, we actually are pretty sure that's how they're alive. We're not entirely too sure. So that's why NASA comes here. They crawl all the way down to those lakes because they're trying to use this bacteria to see if they can find life on other planets. Not only that, there's also studies into the wind of Wind Cave, doing volumetric air studies and the breathing that goes in and out of the natural entrance. And we found that Wind Cave is only about 10% explored so far. So 168 miles is only 10%. There was way more.